Hey everybody, it's Mike Myers and Richard Chapman, Two Bald Nerds, coming at you this week with the topic of breaches. And folks, I tell you, January of 2024 has proven to be an interesting month when it comes to breaches. And in particular, it looks like we're going to be talking about, where did it go? I lost it. What's the name of the people who got breached?
Loan Depot.
Good Lord. I have the URL in front of me, Richard.
Welcome to 2024, Mike.
Computers are hard.
Yeah, this is a big deal. This is actually something that's kind of interesting. We're seeing consistently more and more breaches, like every day, every week, every month, right? It's kind of the way things are going. And there's some interesting details that I think could eventually come out in the coming months. But right now, we only kind of have, what's being told to us in some of the news feeds and so forth at the moment.
So, but this is a ransomware attack, huh?
It appears to be. So first and foremost, they had to file an SEC filing, and the SEC filing does notate encrypted devices. That's synonymous with ransomware. So there's some significant, kind of pointers, I guess you could say, that are leading us in that direction. I will also say right now, from what I've been able to see, Loan Depots, a lot of their systems are still offline. If you're a mortgage holder with Loan Depot, you cannot currently log into their site right now to access your account. All you can do is call them, and the wait times are excessively long.
So, and folks, this is always a challenge when you hear about these breaches. There's almost two conversations that need to go on every breach. There's the initial, we've just discovered about it. We're trying to get some idea of depth. And then there's a follow-up, which can happen months, if not sometimes even years later, where once we've done the research and the feds have come in and done what they're going to do, and CVEs are updated or whatever it might be, then we have a better idea of what it's all about. So this is definitely a preliminary discussion that we're having right now. So, Richard, what makes this particular breach noteworthy for you? There's been a lot of breaches this month. Why Loan Depot?
Well, I think there's a couple of things here. First off, Loan Depot is one of the largest non-bank retail mortgage lenders in the US. They're not a small organization. That means a lot of data, a lot of personal information that people could have accessed here, and likely they did. I think the big thing that we have to be concerned with as well, and I'm connecting some dots here that I don't know are really connected yet, because there's two other breaches that happened before this one that both of them are in the same industry. So whenever I see that, I always start to think about some sort of consistent software application or framework or service or tool that those particular organizations use, because they're in the same industry. If I'm a software developer or a hardware developer and I have a specific solution for something, I'm going to go and try to sell it to all the people in the same industry. So we had Mr. Cooper was hit back in November, and then Fidelity National, which they also are known as Loan Care, they were hit in December. So you got November, December, January of three big organizations that are in the same family. So I think once we start to see a little more details, we might find out that there might be a connection here. I'm not sure.
So, what are going to be on an initial breach situation like this? What information are you going to be going through the news and the reports to figure out? And not only what information are you trying to figure out, Richard, but is there an order to your research in terms of what you're looking for? Can you give me a quick rundown?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, if it's an organization that's in the industry that we are in, then obviously there's going to be probably a lot of things that I'm really going to want to know. I really want to know what exactly was the way that these attackers gained initial access. That is a huge component to better understand exactly how they're getting in. Is it a vulnerability? Is it some sort of social engineering, what exactly is the way that they're getting into the environment in the first place? And then secondary is, what are the steps that they're using to be able to roll out and implement a ransomware attack in that environment? That's a whole nother situation as well. So looking at IOCs, different domains and IP addresses and file names and file hashes that are being used. Are they even using a lot of malicious files at the onset? There's a lot of little things like that companies that handle security for not only companies in these industries, but in any industry, are interested to know. So we're looking at intelligence reports. We're trying to find out whatever we can through, whether it's Twitter feeds or news articles or intelligence reports from known, intelligence sources like Fortinet or even CrowdStrike, things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of details that we're looking for. And if you're outside of the little circle that knows exactly what's going on, it's a little tougher at the beginning. Like right now, it's just a big question mark. We don't really know all the details.
So based on your experience, what's the wait time before we start getting any kind of real information that we can really, learn from?
It depends. I hate that answer, and I know a lot of people hate that answer. I even have a T-shirt that literally says "it depends," because this is a situation where it depends. It depends on exactly how loanDepot was set up. Do they have good backups? What kind of incident response processes do they have in place? Who do they have in place to actually manage that incident response process? There's a lot of little things that kind of weigh in, but I will say the scary part to me is that this seems to have been going on since the very beginning of the month, probably shortly after the 1st. It's the 16th now, and we still don't have access. Like, people still don't have access to be able to log into their accounts. If you go to the site and try to log in, you can't. They still have systems offline.
That is surprising. I've seen plenty of system breaches where things have been brought down, but the fact that they are still, where I actually have a screen of this somewhere. The fact that they in that amount of time are still completely down.
Yeah.
Well, that speaks one thing for sure. They don't have any backups. I mean, good Lord.
It's a possibility. Some of the news stuff said that they actually started literally shutting things down to keep them from beginning the encryption process. So they were incident responsing this situation as it was rolling out, and I think that they pretty much resulted, or the resulting activities were unplug everything.
I mean, that's not necessarily the worst thing to do, especially early on, right? I mean,
yeah, well, what can you do? It'll be interesting to see exactly what the fallout is at the end, though. I'm sure some PII was probably accessed. So that's going to be a significant issue for a lot of their lenders. This is negatively, I believe, affecting them financially as well, too, of course. This is a big trust issue. And this is why it's so important to continue to build up the security teams and try to get the right people in place and make these teams bigger. The budgets need to be bigger. I'm on a soapbox for that one. So spend more money on cybersecurity. It's needed. Big time.
Absolutely, folks. And stay tuned here on the Two Bald Nerds channel. We're going to continue to follow the loanDepot breach, and we'll keep you updated as, noteworthy aspects come up. But yeah, do keep in mind, it's a tough world out there, folks. And that's why you should be considering careers in CyberNow Labs. So definitely take an opportunity, head over to cybernowlabs.com website, check it out, and take a look at upcoming cohorts. See how you too could be a part of this amazing IT security career. Richard, that's all I've got, brother. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to see you on the next Two Bald Nerds. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Y'all have a good one. Bye. If you like Two Bald Nerds, check out our entire playlist right here. It's a lot of fun. We'll see you there.